You know what, TenSura? This is unacceptable. You had me very hopeful with this second core. After an okay first core, but you know what? You were on the right trajectory, but then you had to go and do the most grave sin possible. You disrespected my boy Geld. Now, we all know, if we're a true TenSura fan, Geld is legitimately the strongest, biggest D-energy character in the show. No, if Rimuru and him actually fought, Rimuru would only win by plot armor. No one is stronger than Geld. Geld is legitimately the best boy of not only this show, but of all of Isekai. And to have him lose against Lion Mask, aka Carrion, is disrespectful because we both know, even if he pulled that mask off, he went into his true form, Geld would have flicked him away and won. But what did they do instead? They had him lose. That's disrespectful as hell. I watch Slime Diaries, I see how wholesome Geld is, and that wholesome energy should be a protective shield that keeps him safe from harm's way. I wonder how many people legitimately took that seriously. Now Geld is legitimately one of my favorite characters, but I actually did think he was gonna beat Carrion, not because I think he's stronger, but because I thought something similar to what happened with Gobta was gonna happen, where because he wasn't actually going completely all out, Geld would make it up a notch, and I honestly thought Geld was gonna beat Gobta. I thought that was the trajectory, but I kind of felt bad, man. I was like, oh, my best boy. Geld is literally a walking Snorlax, man. Just a happy guy. I just love seeing Geld, and it was just so sad seeing him be, defeated. But honestly, props to Gobta, because legitimately, I underestimated. I still think if Carrion was in his true form and like completely went all out, he would have beat Gobta. But Gobta like was dodging Demon Lord level attacks, like speed wise, and that does deserve a round of applause. And I guess he's actually gonna probably end up getting all the way to the top and getting that fishing rod, so props to him. But to anyone who actually took that seriously, you're as funny as the people who took me seriously last week when I said that Shuna's the true leader of Tempest, and I had people try to explain to me how that's not how it works and she's just an advisor. It's always funny. I have full live reactions though over on Patreon. If you want to see my full and good thought to any of these episodes, you know it's going to be over there exclusively. So, fantastic episode. Unlike a lot of like shonen anime that have like Coliseum tournament arcs that drag out for like 8 episodes and you're like, Jesus, just finish it up. This one's gonna be done in like an episode and a half, probably. Because I imagine the Masayuki versus Gobta stuff will be like half an episode at max. Masayuki's still proven to be one of the best characters ever. He got through 2 of his rounds by simply having people forfeit. The first of which, just because his boy's like, I'm not gonna fight him. Screw that. The next is, bruh, you already fought a long battle. Would you not prefer to fight me when you're at your full strength? Buddy is literally the walking definition of plot armor, and I love him. But I don't think it's gonna work against Gobta. I truly think what's gonna happen is, like, I think Masayuki will have the crowd respect him in his loss. I think he will ultimately lose by being like, you know, you've shown massive promise, young warrior. I think you deserve a shot at going up against your masters. Something like that. I feel like that's the direction they're gonna go, but it'll be fun to see what they do. But, the fights we saw were great. At one point, a dude got stabbed through the eye. These two, what was it, 5 episodes back when they were about ready to have an all-out war with each other, and then Rimuru made them into dungeon bosses. They come in and fight each other. Dude's horn grows, pierces a shoulder and an eye. Granted, they heal up, but still, that shit was savage. But the fights were good. Now, I could be mistaken. Maybe, I'm not saying Gobta doesn't have potential, and clearly I've been underestimating our little goblin pal for a bit. But I do think if Karen was going completely all out, like, we can look at his fight with Geld, right? Like, when Geld's like, hey, I want to see your true power. He's like, well, I can't give you my true power, but I can give you one of my ultimate attacks. Our boy wasn't going completely all out, and to me, it kind of was implied that when he decided to walk away from Gobta, it was because of ultimately his mask starting to fall off, but also he can't completely use his full power, so in his current state, yeah, he's not going to win there. That's my impression, anyway. I could be mistaken, but that's my impression. But it doesn't take away from the fact that, despite even working with Ranga, as Gobta was, like, you can look at his very first fight, he was dodging. Like, it wasn't simply like he was just running away with his tail between his legs. If he wasn't skilled and was reactive with his eyesight there, like, he would have been attacked. So his skills of being able to dodge that level of speed and, you know, throughout both of the fights is actually quite impressive. Deep down, I know the author was just a coward and didn't want to commit to Geld winning this tournament because then it would show that Geld should be on the Iron Throne and not Rimuru, but you know what, I get it. He wrote himself into a corner and realized that Geld was too powerful and needed to be nerfed. It's understandable. But the carry fight versus Gobta was interesting because I really didn't have expectations. I thought the final match would be Carrion. Now, I thought they were gonna meme it at first, and I thought it would be Geld. But yeah, it's impressive. The fact that I can't tell if this is brilliant or a little shitty. I thought he was getting the fishing rod if he beat his first round. I thought when Reamer was like, hey, if you win this, I'll get you that fishing rod you want. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of fair. He doesn't get the fishing rod unless he wins the whole damn thing. That's a little cruel in my opinion. But then again, thinking of Gobta's personality, you probably do have to really dangle that carrot in front of him in order to get the horse moving. But still, very, very funny stuff. But yeah, definitely a night and day difference visually from the first core. So we haven't really had action in the second core compared to the first, so there hasn't been a really good episode to really compare. Like, okay, we feel like we're in not only a newer art style, a newer production style than the first half of season 3, but now that we have like a full episode of like a lot of action, what the hell? Could you imagine the last couple of episodes of Core 1 if they were animated like how this Coliseum arc is being animated? Like, it's just so much more expressive, so much more fun, and honestly, we had a taste of how savage it can be. It truly felt like it was made by 2 different studios, and I think I mentioned this before, it almost feels like Season 3 isn't 1 season, it's 2. Because this is the type of jump in difference that you would see if this was the first half of the season was Season 3 and what we're currently watching was actually Season 4. Because that's the jumping quality we're dealing with, and it's fantastic. But Masayuki, absolutely fantastic character. I wouldn't even be shocked, bro, if we walk in the next episode. He says, my boy, you deserve a shot at fighting your master. I'll let you do that. And walks away. Because he's not an idiot. He doesn't want to die. But then again, I think Masayuki's abilities would work on Gobta, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that's, I don't know. It's gonna be a fun episode nonetheless. But, very, very great episode. This was easily the best action-oriented episode of Season 3. Not even a competition, if you ask me. Fantastic. The author did me dirty. You can't make Geld as much of a best boy as he is and have him lose like this. But honestly, props to our local Snorlax. He took a mad punch, and honestly, most characters probably would have ruptured from that punch, but he took it like a champ. Let me know your feelings down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course, ring that bell. And like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon. And hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Daniel, Lian Chow, Marcus Rulgers, Ilias Cortez, Jose Raffo Caster, Arctic Fox, Nicole, Benjamin Zelwowski, Kill Zero, Joshua Amiger, Kontoa, and we also have Torvac. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care. Y'all have a good one.